right, so Mr. Anthony Graham,
Yes.
thanks for coming today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So you are the second secondary teacher that we've interviewed for the Teacher Spotlight.
Okay.
The first one was Blake Harvard at James Clemens.
Awesome.
Natalia Dooley, my elementary counterpart, has done one with Bonnie Howard.
Okay.
So you are number 3.
Awesome.
And we're really excited, so thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. I guess the first question, just let everybody out there know who you are and where you work and what you do there.
Okay. I've been in Madison City Schools for 8 years. I taught 5 years at Heritage Elementary, and I've been at Discovery Middle School for 3 years, teaching 7th grade math and public speaking.
Now that you've done both, which one's more compatible with you, or are they both kind of the same but different? How does that work?
I think you get different things at different levels.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved being in 5th grade with the kids. I love the curriculum. But middle school, there's so much different diversity in the school. We have so much fun. I mean, you can really relate to the kids.
Right.
You can have some deep conversations.
Yeah.
You can just really get to know them on a personal level.
My wife is a 7th grade teacher, and she says they're old enough to get my jokes, but they're young
Right.
enough to need me.
Right, exactly.
And I think it's a really cool way to look at
Right.
middle school in general.
It is.
So what was your sort of life before education? Where'd you come from?
I've done a lot of things. I grew up in the South Pacific in the Marshall Islands. It's a little small island in the middle of nowhere. And
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah,
Cool.
there was 200 students in kindergarten through 12th grade, so we didn't have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
But after I went to college at the University of Arizona, ended up joining the Air Force. So I was in the Air Force for 4 years. After the Air Force, I became a police officer back in the Marshall Islands.
I didn't realize how much I didn't know about you. This is really cool.
I did, basically in the Marshall Islands, I did border patrol. I checked boats coming in and checked people leaving and coming in from the island. And then I got my teaching degree whenever I was 30, so kind of got it later in life.
Yeah. What drove you to decide that education might be your next sort of path?
I've always known ever since I was in high school that I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I just
a matter of
took
when.
a long path to get there, and
Okay.
which actually really helped me because it helped me build some skills that I needed to be a teacher, and it helps me in the classroom, I think.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much about what I do know about you yet,
Okay.
but in a nutshell, I know that you see your kids as individuals, and I know that a lot of your work is focused around that. How do you sort of negotiate that with having a classroom of whatever 25 or 30 kids, but still sort of being attentive and aware of their needs and of their passions and using those in the classroom when there's so many students to work with?
Right. My goal from day one is really to get to know the kids on a personal level. I mean, teaching 7th grade math. I'll hold up my 7th grade math book the first couple of days of school and I'll say, you can maybe learn this year, or you might learn it later on in life, but I want you to be a student of character, and I want to really get to know you and know about your life and know what you're going through,
Right.
because then that helps me relate to you in math,
Yeah.
or just in any general subject.
Right.
So I think if you get to know your students as individuals, it really helps your classroom.
Well, speaking of that, I know that RUFF, R-U-F-F, is a big thing that you care about deeply.
It is.
So a lot of what we talk about today, I just want to be about RUFF and give you an opportunity to. So, for the average audience member who has no idea what I'm even talking about, start at the beginning.
Right.
What's RUFF?
RUFF is Ready Yourself for the Future. It was born on December the 10th of 2010 at Heritage Elementary. And it's always been a passion of mine to do something like this. It's an empowerment program for young men. We're actually in 16 different schools right now.
Cool.
We're in Madison City, but we're also in Limestone County. We're also in Huntsville City Schools. So we are across northern Alabama. And it's growing very fast. But it's just empowering these young men to have tangible role models, whether it's in their schools, whether it's in their community, whether it's somewhere close. It's somewhere that somebody that they can talk to.
Right.
Somebody rather than LeBron James, who they're probably never ever going to get to talk to.
Right. Yeah.
So somebody here in town that they can just relate to and somebody that they can talk to.
I know, being a former high school teacher, I know that a lot of my kids, I remember 3 or 4 of my male students were mentors, I guess, in this program. So how do you sort of identify those kids? How do you hook them up? And how do they spend time together? Is it built into the school day or what?
It's we actually do something called Teachable Tuesday, where every Tuesday night I meet with the boys and we have dinner and we have different lessons that we go over. For example, right now we're talking about the iceberg, where people see 10% of you, but 90% is your character core. Nice. It's like, what is that 90% built on? I mean, how strong is that 90%?
Yeah.
And so the way we choose our mentors is basically word of mouth. We have people that talk about the program. They'll call me and say, my son wants to be a mentor, and we interview that young man, and if they turn out to be good for the program, we take them on. And
very cool.
but it's growing so fast in Madison City, especially. That
And then how the students, the younger students involved, not the older mentors, but the younger students, I mean, how are those identified and what's the process there?
okay, right now we have third grade all the way up to freshman in college.
Wow.
We've had about 1,000 boys go through the program in 4 years.
Man.
And so what we've done is we've developed a 4-year program. It's called Develop, Inspire, Empower, and Leader. And each year we start a new program. So we've had Develop class number 1. They graduated this year. So they'll go into Inspire class number 1. And then we'll have Develop class number 2 this year, where we're going to have 50 young men be able to sign up for that program. And it's basically open to anybody in Northern Alabama right now.
I know that academics is probably not your primary motivating force with RUFF.
Right.
But have you seen any direct relationship between the RUFF program and the participants and their academic success?
We have, and that's one of our core areas is building their academic success.
Okay.
It's building their confidence. We offer tutoring, we offer, online help with them. Just basically getting them successful in the classroom is one of our key areas.
Yeah.
Because we want them to be successful. We want them to be, to have dreams and goals of going to college and doing things later on in life.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think at an early age, getting these young men in elementary school, it's really catching on. And them seeing, we had Matt Harrell who went to Troy University.
I know Matt, yeah. He's a great
And Matt
guy.
he just won a distinguished award at Troy University. So the younger boys seeing that really motivates them to do better in school.
Yeah. Did you find that character development in general was something that was sort of lacking, and that's where this was born out of? Or, and then sub question there is, what value do you see in it being only for males?
Right.
What's the objective
Right.
there?
I think, we're pushing so hard academics throughout the school day. We only have a certain amount of time to teach a certain amount of lesson. I think the character education part does get left out. I know the counselors have a tough job.
Yeah.
They have a lot of students to deal with. And just dealing with the males, and I've done a lot of research on it, and looking at in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension numbers, they're above 90% being males.
Right.
And problems in schools, if you talk to any principal, I've talked to people around the country, their problem is males in school.
It's hard to argue with that.
And you don't hear anything about the females, and so that's why I think if we can change the reputation of a young man in school, and we can get them on a better level, get them on, building those leadership skills and understanding that there's consequences for their behavior and
Right.
that they need to be held accountable, and
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Would you like to talk about the future of RUFF? I know
Right.
that it's going somewhere else that it isn't yet.
Right,
Yeah.
it is. It's going in unbelievable ways, and just the calls we get every single day about people wanting to sign up their young men and the impact we're making on the community. That's our thing too. It's another one of our goals is to really impact the Madison community.
Right.
We want our boys to get out there and be the face of Madison, and we're teaming up with the mayor on this Be True Unlocked Young Men's Conference
Yeah.
in July, and we want young men to build a reputation that's positive.
Yeah.
And when people think about young men in Madison, we want them to say, wow, these guys are doing amazing things.
Do you hope for it to spill over into other districts and other states?
I do, I really do. And, we have, principals in other states that have contacted me, and
Yeah.
we're writing our own curriculum right now, and for the next 4 years.
Nice. So it would be easy to sort of transfer that and just apply it anywhere.
It would. And it's just exciting to see. And I tell the boys that I said, don't let your dreams be dreams. I want
Yeah.
I want those dreams to come true.
Yeah.
And that's RUFF has always been my dream. And it's nice to see something coming true.
Absolutely. You're modeling that behavior.
Right.
It's awesome.
Right.
So regarding RUFF, but also just regarding your practice in general as a teacher, how can your work inspire other teachers? Are there any strategies that you use or would like to use more of?
Right. I think it's so important these days on being an inspiring teacher. We have the most important profession. I really believe that.
I feel that way too.
We are teaching young minds we're changing futures every single day.
Yeah.
We're building their futures. We're building on their dreams.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm doing that every single day, I hope that's inspiring other teachers to do their job. And
Absolutely.
And I think with what the kids say to other teachers about me, I hope that inspires them to do things as well.
Yeah. I guess the last thing, I just want to give you an opportunity to sort of talk about anything that we haven't touched on yet.
Right.
Is there anything that you would like? This is an opportunity to talk to the world. So
Right.
what are we missing? What's critical to you?
I think everybody has a voice. Everybody has a way to change people's lives, and I think I read something yesterday that says, don't try to find the dirt in somebody, try to find the gold.
Yeah.
And I think that was huge. I love that. You know, don't look at the bad in somebody, find the good in them. And I know as teachers we can get frustrated every single day with a student, but if you take 1 minute to say you believe in a kid, it's going to change them.
Absolutely.
And I think if every teacher, if we did that, we just said, you know, that kid that's failing, if we say, well, we believe in you, then that just changes them rather than, you know, where's your homework? Why aren't you doing your homework? You know, harping on them.
Right.
If we just say, I believe you can do this,
Yeah.
you know, you can change, you can see the change in that kid.
Yeah.
I think that's where, as educators, as teachers, I think we need to really, really focus on getting to know their home life, getting to know, you know, what's going on with them, just so that, you know, their learning can improve.
Is there anything else before we move on? Anything else that you feel like you forgot about, or?
I just think if we could get, you know, we have the backing of the superintendent, we have the backing of the mayor with the program. I think a lot of people in the schools, you know, they hear about the program and they might not understand it, but if they could get involved and just bring it to their school, just in a simple way, everything's done for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the legwork is done, all that's done. If they could just introduce it to their kids,
Yeah.
and just let them know what we're doing, and that would be key. And I know, you know, a lot of people want to work on a girls program, and which
Yeah.
needs to come as well.
Absolutely.
It really
Yeah.
does. And you know, I get that question asked all the time. Why don't I do a girls program? Well, I don't really relate to the girls.
That's not
So,
your thing. It's
that's
your
not my thing. So yeah.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody's watching this and they're like, wow, RUFF sounds really interesting. I'd like to know more. I'd like to get in touch with you, maybe even implement it at my school. Where can they go? What can they do? What's your email address? And I'll put it on as text on the screen as you talk.
Okay. We have our website. It's RUFF, R-U-F-F, leadership.org.
Okay.
That's our website. And then my email address is agraham, ruff@gmail.com.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that way they can contact me, and any help is very appreciated.
Yeah. Great.
So.
Well, Mr. Graham, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, have a
Appreciate
good one.
you. Yes.
See you.